Hey guys, welcome back to The Missing. I'm Ariane. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. As you know, this channel is dedicated to my Uncle Mark Anthony Mestis, who went missing from New Mexico in 2001. To this day, we have no leads, no answers, and no Uncle Mark. If you have any information on his disappearance, please comment, or you can email lovedonesmissing@gmail.com. As always, any information would be helpful, and we would appreciate any help that you can give, whether it is sharing this video, sharing his picture, or giving us any information that you may have on his whereabouts. Just know his family would appreciate it. Each week will feature a case of who's missing and has not been found. It doesn't matter how old the case is or how new the case is, they will be featured here in hopes of helping others bring home their loved ones so that they don't feel the pain that our family has had to feel all these years. Today's missing case is about Kyron Horman, I think is how you say it, from Oregon. This was another case that was big in the news. Kyron went missing, and let's see, he was born on June 4th, 2010. I'm sorry, I am completely wrong. He was not born on June 4th, 2010. He was born September 9th of 2002. He disappeared on June 4th of 2010 at Skyline Elementary School in Oregon. Okay? On that morning, it was said to be any normal, typical morning. Kyron was a young boy. He wore little glasses. He was about 50 pounds, about 3'8" tall. And his stepmother, Terry, had taken him to school that day. They had attended a science fair, and Terry had taken pictures of Kyron at the science fair. After the science fair, Terry then began to walk Kyron down the hallway, and she then turned to leave the school. And she last saw Kyron around 8:45 a.m. as he was walking down the hall to his classroom. So she then said that she had left the school and she had run errands at a couple different places. Their daughter, Kyron's little sister, had an earache, and so she had also not only gone by the grocery store around 10:10 that morning, but then between 11:39 a.m. and 12:40 p.m., she stated that she was kind of driving around, trying to soothe her daughter's earache. We've all been there. Fussy kids, you put them in a car, you take them for a drive, get them to relax. You know the drill, so that doesn't sound out of sorts. You know, she drops Kyron off at school, she waves bye. After going to the science fair, she runs some errands, soothes her daughter. Okay, great. At 3:30 p.m., Kyron's stepmother, Terry, and his father, Kane, decided they were going to walk their daughter to the bus stop, and they were going to go pick Kyron up from the bus stop like they did every other day. So they walk to the bus stop, and they're waiting, and the bus pulls up, and they're waiting for Kyron, and the bus driver tells them, Kyron never got on the bus today. So they're like, what? That's strange, because she knew she had taken him to school. He had been at the science fair. As a matter of fact, when she had gotten home from running errands and soothing her daughter, she had posted pictures of Kyron at the science fair on Facebook. So he was, in fact, at the school that morning. He was, in fact, at the science fair. However, she said she waved as he was walking to class. Bus driver says he never got on the bus after school. So now, where is Kyron? Is he at school? What's going on? So they then go home and they call the school. They're like, hey, Kyron never got off the bus. He had been there that morning for the science fair. And the secretary at the school then states, well, no, Kyron never even made it to his first class. He was marked absent today. So now we've got a problem. Little Kyron is 7 years old, I believe it said at this time. He's 50 pounds. He's 3'8" tall. He's got little glasses. He's not the type of child. He's young enough. He's not going to be running away from school by any means, or so we would hope. But now he's not only didn't get on the bus after school, but apparently he never made it to class. The last time anybody saw him was his stepmom said he was walking to class that morning. around 8:45 in the morning. At the science fair, walks to class, never makes the class, gets marked absent. Nothing. Realizing this kid, that Kyron is now missing, the secretary phones 911 and reports that Kyron's absent. Okay, he's been marked absent. Search efforts for Kyron are there put into place, and they go through extensive search efforts. Okay, this is like one of the largest efforts in Oregon for a missing child. FBI thoroughly searched. I mean, they looked at the elementary school, they searched 6-mile radius ways. Law enforcement didn't disclose their reasons for searching in the places that they did, but they searched bridges, they searched a place called Savay Island or Savay Island, something like that. On June 9th in 2010, the Horman family, who had initially they refused to speak to the media at all. They released, a statement. They didn't want to speak to the media. On June 12th, the 300 trained rescue workers, volunteers were on ground. They were searching. I mean, they had over 1,300 searchers in Oregon, Washington, California. They posted rewards. Initially, it was a $25,000 reward. Then it got moved up to $50,000. There is no information, no sightings, no nothing on the whereabouts of Kyron Horman. Now, if you've been following the case or if you've looked into it, you do know that the stepmother, Terry, has been suspected in his disappearance. There is legal proceedings going on in June of 2010 in the midst of the search. The dad, Kane, was reportedly told by investigators that Terry had offered her landscaper a lot of money to kill the husband, which does not help the case. And 5 months, and this was 5 months before Kyron went missing. There was audio surveillance of Terry, but they were unable to obtain any evidence that they could make an arrest of her for the disappearance of Kyron. They are now divorced, and Terry has failed 2 separate polygraph tests regarding Kyron's disappearance. There was, law enforcement were talking about in August of 2010 during their investigation, who had allegedly, there had been 2 witnesses sitting outside of the elementary school, there was a witness that stated they had seen 2 individuals sitting outside of the elementary school in Terry's truck the day of Kyron's disappearance. It is just one thing after another. I'm sure that that somebody knows something. They have tried to indict in December of 2010. It was reported that a grand jury had yet to provide compelling evidence in order to indict Terry. On November 29th of 2010, search efforts for Kyron's case had cost an estimated $1.4 million. I mean, they were looking for this kid everywhere. There is a lawsuit against Terry that started on June 1st of 2012. It's a civil lawsuit against her, claiming that she was responsible for Kyron's disappearance, seeing as she was the last person with him. She had been, I guess, involved in some sort of murder for hire plot 5 months before for the dad. So, I mean, there's some pretty suspicious information surrounding the disappearance of young Kyron. During this whole process, there has been just tons of investigations, and during the testimony provided by his dad during the civil trial, he stated that the police had told him they have more probable cause to think that Terry was involved in the disappearance. On July 30th, 2013, it was announced that the lawsuit against Terry had been dropped as to not interfere with the ongoing police investigation. But as of today, there is no evidence on the whereabouts of young Kyron. Take a look at these pictures. If you have any information, as always, please, you can comment down below. You can contact the phone number on the missing persons flyers. If you don't want to be, if you're worried and you don't want anybody to know, you can always email lovedonesmissing@gmail.com. We can pass the information on for you. If you have any missing persons cases you'd like me to cover, or you personally have a family member who's missing and you would like to send me pictures and case information, please do so. I will feature them. I'll get their information out there and do my best to help you recover your missing loved one. Please continue to be crusaders for the missing people of the world. Everybody has a right to come home to their mom and dad. Kyron is no different. Have you seen Kyron? Do you know something? Do you know Terry and you know some information that maybe is just not out there? Maybe you're afraid to say something. You can say it through email to us. I'll pass the information along. Nobody will know that it was you. Please take a look at these pictures. Please have a blessed day. And thank you for being a crusader and helping bring people home. It's up to you and I to make a difference for those that can't make a difference for themselves. Have a great one.